None of you deserve the exemption. You should have stayed down there.
I know. Wouldn't it be sad if Hannah took that exemption and her man left on the same day?
I would love it.
It could be a big game changer if any two players form a coalition.
I am furious. Tony came to play a game. He didn't come to find love. So the audacity to be outplayed by Hannah just because he feels some type of way when she smells at him doesn't make sense to me. That's not a game player. And then I don't understand how the guys were outsmarted by the girls in the game of the code for the safe. Make that make sense? Anyway, hey there. Thanks for stopping by. It's your girl, Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing The Mole Season 2, Episode 3. If you've been here a while, you know I root for love. But when I watch The Mole, I'm not watching for a love story. Yes, I know at the start I thought there was something between Jennifer and Tony. There was a bit of flirting there. But when I watch The Mole, I watch to see gameplay. I watch to see how people can manipulate one another, how people's minds work, and to look at body languages and try and figure out who is the mole. And so the audacity for Tony to have come out of the gate swinging as one of the most competitive players and suddenly to be played by a girl doesn't make sense to me. The fact that Hannah eventually got him to sort of give up the exemption to him, I don't get it. I am still puzzled by it. I'm still puzzled. I am lost for words because why waste 35K for what? For what? Really, for what? What was the purpose of them sitting there and sort of, so what, that was them sort of a foreplay or what? Make it make sense? Because it doesn't make sense why the two of them thought it was a good idea to lose $35,000. I'm still puzzled by it. So eventually you have Hannah manage to flirt her way into getting Tony to stand up and then leave her. So they're left with 9,000 something. And then Ari says, okay, I'll round it off to 10,000. And it's like, it wasn't worth it. No amount of flirting or friendship or relationship is worth you losing that amount of money. And so I don't get how the two of them thought this was a good idea. Because if this was a game where someone would be voted out, everybody would have voted them out. I can bet you that everybody would have voted them out because they wasted money. But because they know that this is a different type of game whereby only your ability to deduct and sort of observe situations and be able to read minds is what will keep you in the game. So this is why I think they did something that's stupid. Anyway, they are then told they have to go for the quiz, and Hannah's got the exemption, and Tony's sort of saying, oh, I'm worried. And everybody's saying it would be nice if her boyfriend was sent home because he made the mistake. Anyway, after the quiz, they start revealing who's got green, and sadly, Andy is the one who got the red light. And it's like, I think it was time for him to go home. Because at the end of the day, he could only do so much. Before he ran out of time. And sadly, he's run out of time. And it's time for him to go home and for somebody else to sort of take his place. Because I think the tasks were becoming more physical. And his body would not have been able to continue in some of the most physically challenging sort of tasks. He could get away with building the raft, he could get away with shooting, but I don't think like the challenge that they have today, he would have managed with that. Anyway, they are then told that because they got into two separate cars and they were told the car that you're in is the team that you're going to be playing in today. And you still have Tony sort of asking the rest of the participants, oh, what do you think of me and Hannah? Do you still trust us, or do you now see us some type of way? And it's like, Sherlock Holmes, what do you think? What do you think? They should clap their hands that congratulations, you found yourself a girlfriend, and you and your girlfriend lost us 35,000. Do you think that that's what they should do? Make it make sense? And you could see that some of the people are not feeling them, and they did express their opinions, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, so you've got two teams. In one of the cars you have Melissa, Nesh, Ryan, Diane, and Muna. In the other car you have Hannah, Tony. That's quite a strong team. Michael, Sean, and Q. And it's like, oh my god, these teams, I don't know how the ladies are going to compete against the guys, because Nesh is the only guy in his car, whereas the other guy car is only is like 4 boys and 1 girl, so it's going to be quite challenging. Anyway, they are asked to select a leader, and Nesh is trying to push to be the leader, and it's like, why does he keep wanting to be the leader of the teams? Does he have control issues or what? Anyway, the girls decide, no, we don't want you to be the leader. They offer Melissa. And Melissa has been flying under the radar. She is the poker player, and nobody has even noticed it. I think I was saying Hannah is the poker player. Hannah is not the poker player. The poker player is Melissa, and she's managed to hide sort of her skills underneath the radar because nobody could tell what she does, because I think they just saw her as somebody who was just there just for the sake of it. In the other team, Sean volunteers to be the leader because Tony, I think, was thinking of being the leader, and after he lost the team money, I don't think they would have been willing to give him more control. Not at this point anyway, I wouldn't. So when they arrive at the venue, it's this skyscraper with about 20-something floors, I think. No, 30-something. I think it was 35. And Ari tells them that the team captains, so Melissa and Sean, would have to sort of rappel down the buildings, and they would then have to look for a red chair. Tell the team who was still at the top and then the floor, and then the team would run down and sort of the captain would open the door for the team to walk into the apartment, find the jewelry in the safe, open the safe, find the jewelry, and then come back to the car park. And with Sean, he nearly had a freak out, and it took Tony sort of saying to him, remember your children, you want your children to be proud of you, you're doing this for your children, you're not just doing this for yourself. So he eventually started rappelling, and you had Melissa, she was already rappelling, but she took way longer to go down than actually Sean. Sean was just speeding. I think he just wanted to get it over and done with. He got to the 4th floor, he opened the door for his teammates, and so that was good. They started looking, there were numbers everywhere, on the fridge magnets, on the fridge, on the clocks, everywhere there were numbers. And so eventually you had Q sort of looking for batteries for the torch, and when he found the batteries, they realized that there were numbers on the key safe, which was found by Michael behind one of the picture frames in the dressing room. And so they tried numbers, and eventually, well, they tried the first attempt, it wasn't successful. Then they started looking again, and eventually you had the lovebirds come up with a combination, which they tried both ways and they failed. So they had to go downstairs because they had failed. Once the alarm went off, you're supposed to go out. With the other team, they seemed a bit less organized, even though Nish kept trying to sort of rile them in, and sort of they were taking numbers from everywhere, until finally you had Muna find the batteries for the torch, and then they realized it was a blue light. They found their numbers on the safe and eventually found their numbers. And the first time they failed, the second time they failed, and then the third time they left it to a coin toss. And it was like, oh, okay. I think if the mole was in the second group, I think they were hoping by this time the other group would have gone downstairs, they would have been successful, so their money wouldn't count. And sadly, when they got downstairs, they realized that the other team hadn't actually won. And it was interesting because Ari told them that, there were highlighted numbers that you should have seen, 36 and 48. And you have, Sean saying, yes, I understand that Q feels bad, but he didn't contribute. And it's like, Q brought out the black light that was able to show you the numbers. What do you mean he didn't contribute anything to the team? You rappelled down. Michael is the one. Okay, everybody actually in that team did something. You rappelled down. The lovebirds found the numbers that they were going through. Q found the black light and was able to find the numbers highlighted on the safe. Michael found the safe. So you can't say nobody in your team helped. It's just you were not organized. There were too many egos in there, and there was not enough. There were too many chiefs and not enough captains. And so sadly, this is why your team lost and the other team actually won. So the participants go and change, and then they meet Ari for dinner, and he tells them, we're going to play a game before we have dinner, and then we have the quiz. So the thing is, I've got 10 fortune cookies for you. 5 of them are exemptions, 5 are money. And so what we're going to do is we're going to play a couple of rounds, and whoever at the end is still left holding the exemption, they won't take the quiz. Whoever doesn't loses their exemption because people don't trust them, then you're out. So it's like, oh my God, this is messy. This is now going to out people. And people, if you're someone who's very observant, you're going to see who the liars are. And so people call out money. So on the 5K, you have Diana, Melissa, Q, and Michael say they all have 5K. And you have, you know, Ari saying, no, it's only 2 people that have 5K. On 10K, you have Sean, Nisha, Muna, and Hannah. And it's like, oh my God, I don't know who's lying there. But I still maintain Muna is the mole. But anyway, it is what it is. And then on 20K, you have Tony and Ryan. I know it's Ryan who's got the exemption because I actually saw it when she opened her cookie. And so people are not trusting Tony because of the fact that he lost them a lot of money. And it's like, well, yeah, he lost you a lot of money, but still, I don't think it's worth you guys taking the gamble and sort of getting rid of someone who might actually win you some money because he owes you money. He feels bad about owing you money. So the chances of him playing with you guys are highly unlikely. Whereas Ryan can fly under the radar because she's going head to head with Tony and people don't already trust Tony. So it's going to be interesting to see who's actually left with the exemption and who gets voted out. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 2. Bye guys.